Today we're going to have another Church of Tomorrow segment, but this time we're going to focus on leadership and exploitation, especially systems of exploitation, the human cost of debt. Those in power never consider the human cost of the laws that are written to benefit creditors over the vulnerable. You see, leadership worth anything or worth following operates from a moral clarity, perspective, point of view, and refuses to look away from mistreatment, from moral depravity, and social ills. Understands that systems that enslave citizens and people who don't treat human beings like human beings, but instead like collateral, is not leadership at all. See, leadership that refuses performative gestures are nothing if not backed up by sustained commitment with the realization that a country's greatness is measured by how it treats its most vulnerable. Sometimes the most powerful acts of leadership happen not in grand places or crowded stadiums, but they should have put in churches. The quiet corners where suffering hides in plain sight. Today I speak about a truth that has shaped centuries and still shapes lives today. The slavery, misuse, and abuse of African people, not only in Africa, but across the world. And let me tell you something. I am not a racist because loving my own is not racism. It is just good sense. So let me be clear. Loving my own people is not racism. Every other nationality in America and across the globe takes care of its own first. But why do we backstab and do the rotten things that we do to each other? So why should it be wrong for Africans, for black people to do the same? Because they were taught different. My priority is African. My commitment is to make my love of Africa my friend. Because if we do not value ourselves, who will and who have? Self-love is not exclusion. It is survival. It is the foundation upon which unity and progress are built. The historical chains, and I mean for centuries, Africans were chained, shipped, and sold like commodities. Entire civilizations were dismantled so others could build empires on their backs. Slavery was not only physical bondage, it was cultural erasure, economic theft, psychological warfare. It taught generations to believe that they were less than human. And you get mad when somebody brings it up because you don't want to hear about what you did in the past. You don't want to hear it black, white, pink, yellow, and even we did it to our own self. But was nothing ever like chattel slavery. The modern change we tell our slavery induced stupor that lends itself to being in our head all day long, but who put it there? Who did it? See, today slavery wears a different mask. It hides behind contracts, loans, debts that could never be paid. Families sign agreements that promise opportunity but deliver captivity. Nations enter deals that look like development but guarantee dependency. Debt has become the new chain, mathematical shackles that tighten with every interest payment, every unfair term, every resource extracted without fair return. The psychological war here lies the most sinister legacy. The psychological slavery that teaches you to hate yourself, distrust your neighbor, depend on your oppressor. It whispers that unity is dangerous, that independence is impossible, that your worth is measured by proximity to those who exploit you. That is why communities fracture. This is why we sabotage ourselves, aligning with the very system and individuals who profit from our suffering. Internal sabotage, too often the betrayal comes from within us. Africans, whether on the continent or in the diaspora, sometimes choose comfort over courage, status over solidarity. We partner with those who strip our dignity because we've been conditioned to believe that their validation is survival. We elect leaders who speak of freedom but sign away sovereignty. We celebrate wealth built on exploitation while ignoring the poverty it perpetuates. Leadership must change. Whether in Africa, America, or anywhere in the world, must change. Its point of view must shift. I'm telling you, the world has a problem. And let's be honest. The world has a moral problem. You see, great human beings do not look away from the mistreatment of others. They do not ignore moral depravity and social ills. But they see the hidden war. This is not an economic struggle. It's a moral and psychological war. A war fought in the boardrooms, in the classrooms, in trade agreements, and cultural narratives. A war where the battlefield is not our minds. Oh, misquote. The war is in our minds, and the prize is our unity. Because when Africans unite, across borders, across languages, across oceans, the systems built to keep us divided begin to crumble. That's why they hate Abraham Traore so much. Call to action. So what do? We start by naming the chains, whether they are forged from iron or ink. We challenge contracts that enslave nations. We dismantle systems that prey on desperation. We teach our children that their value is non-negotiable, that their dreams are not collateral, and we hold accountable those who profit from our oppression, because silence in the face of injustice is just another form of violence and cowardice. Closing, the story of Africa is not a tragedy, it's a testimony that even in the darkest chapters, dignity refuses to die. But dignity alone is not enough. It must be defended, restored, and multiplied. Our liberation will not come from charity. It will not come from people that have been mistreating you for hundreds of years, giving you anything. It will come from justice. It will come when we stop asking for permission to be free and start building systems that make freedom inevitable. The question is not whether slavery still exists. It does. The question is whether we continue to live as if we do not see it. Today, let us choose to see. Let us choose to act. Let us choose to break every chain, visible and invisible, because Africa's future depends on it. Now, as you probably have gone or are going to church, why do you go to listen all the time? You act like you don't have a tongue when you get in church, because you know the fall of so many preachers, priests, and all type of supposedly religious people have been so bad that we can't trust nothing they say. So why don't you return to your spiritual, your very spirit in your body? Why don't you return back to your home? Your home is inside of you. God is inside of you. So stop thinking religiously and think spiritually, because it's already in you.